Hello, and welcome to a very special session of The Boys Play D&D. I'm Brett, and I'll be your Dungeon Master tonight. Tonight we're breaking from our regular programming to run the Dungeon of Boruzo. For this dungeon, the boys have created a band of adventurers to delve into the dungeon to search for treasure. This difficult dungeon is heavily influenced on D&D adventures of old and features deadly traps and ferocious monsters. So it is quite a difficult dungeon, and we're going to see how the boys fare with it. They've made some characters, as you can see from our snazzy graphics. We are basically making an adventuring party that is kind of based around like being like a hair metal 80s type classic rock band, and they're going to be looking into this dungeon. And finally, if you enjoy what you see today, we actually have usually a regular campaign that we run at 7:30 Central every Monday. So this is a little bit out of the ordinary for us. We just wanted to do something a little bit fun, and I was really itching to try and DM again. I haven't done it in a while, so the guys were happy enough to humor me and give me a shot to run the dungeon. And I think that is it. Does anyone else have anything they want to mention? Pure silence from. Okay. All right.
Good to go.
Okay.
In the description at the bottom of the Twitch channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I did not know that. Okay. That is good to know.
Click on the
That,
very high quality artwork.
Yeah. All right. So, with that all the formalities out of the way here, let's jump into the game here. This story begins in the world of Gameria, within the nation of Bortholdic. We've joined our first bandmate, Slash, original content, do not steal, tending to his old mentor, Charles Smallfruit. Charles is on his deathbed, having lived a long and adventurous life, and the only person left to basically ease him on in his passing is his old mentor, Slash. Colton, would you like to describe what Slash looks like to everybody?
Slash is a gold dragonborn. He has a mop of curly black hair. He's wearing a top hat. He's got pretty good physique, even though he's pushing retirement age. He's 55 years old. His best days are behind him. But he doesn't let that stop him from enjoying the pleasures of life.
So as Slash is kneeling beside the bed of his former mentor, he turns with a cough and looks seriously towards Slash. Oh, Slash, my boy, what do you know of Boruzo Zonius?
Can't say that I know much. Is he an old rocker from your time?
You could possibly say that. From long before my time, though. He's originally just an up-and-coming artist, and he but managed to gain a powerful artifact. And using this artifact, he became known as the Prince of Darkness. He did not come... It was quite righteous, although he was not. He gathered up this artifact called the Flick of Fate. It was a small trinket that allowed him to win the hearts and minds of many followers. With that power, he erected an iron empire. Now, in my youth, my band and I had actually found his final resting place. We delved into his tomb and met nothing but pain.
I lost many friends in that expedition to horrid traps. I believe you may have the strength to find the flick. You can find it underneath a hill.
All right. Is it dangerous?
Incredibly. There were many who died who went in there. If you were to have the courage to go and search it yourself, you best not do it alone.
You're talking about getting the band back together.
I think it's about time. You could really use it, and I know those fellas that'll be getting into nothing but trouble without everyone to keep each other in line.
You know what happened. They won't even speak to me after our last show. We've lost our mojo. We can't rock anymore.
Never say that the mojo is lost. It's not lost until you're dead. And I fear that I might soon be in that place myself. Now, before I go, I want to bequeath upon to you the axe of my youth. Kiss. She's yours now.
Don't speak such nonsense, Master. You're not dying. I can't take it up.
You have to. Do it for me. And try to rock as hard as you can, bro.
Slash is like holding back manly tears at this point, and he just looks away from his master so he can't see him cry.
Charles kind of weakly lifts up his hand and points slowly to the corner where Kiss, this wicked-looking, it's hard. You didn't really have guitars back then, but it's basically a guitar. But instead of the usual bass that you have on a guitar, it is a literal axe. So you have this stringed axe that is wicked and looks like something that straight out of a Metallica concert that he would be able to play.
It's yours now. Now, I think I shall rock together and climb that stairway to heaven.
And you watch as his eyes close and the hand falls to the small fruit is no more.
Master, if it's the last thing I do, I will rock again in your name. And I pick up the axe and I play like a really sick lick on it.
Like this?
Sure.
Yeah. So, with the knowledge and location of this treasured tomb, Slash set out to try and get the band back together.
Woo! All right. As I'm leaving Paradise City, looking around at all the green grass and pretty girls, I'll be like, I won't see you again for a while. Keep the bed warm for me. I'll be back. And I head out. Just got a little like hobo bindle tied to the axe. Have that slung over my shoulder as I walk through the rolling hills away from town.
All right. And you, in fact, know probably the first person that you're going to be able to find is you're going to be looking for, geez, they all have O names.
Mm-hmm.
Onslow is going to be the first person that you look for. And you know that to the west of the city of Paradise, there is a swampy bog where he was been known to settle down and move back to live with his family. So you make your way and start trekking your way there. The ground slowly gets softer and more moist, and you start to get that stench of decay in your nose as you start to approach this swamp. Eventually, you come across there is instead of a road or a pathway, it just kind of delves into a. Why is it so blurry?
Oh,
sorry about that.
Loaded in. I got good resolution.
Oh, there we go. Now it's good resolution. And you see that there is actually a pathway ahead of you where many pieces of wood have been set down. Not quite like a bridge, but they kind of sit on top of the soft ground and keep you from sinking in through the muck. Occasionally, pardon?
So we're going to get Shrek, but I pronounced it
Yeah.
stupidly.
Occasionally, your foot is going to sink through, like there's just a log that is just on a really soft spot, and you end up getting some swamp water in your boots on the way there. But you soon start to come across a small village, and you start to see many reptilian humanoids surrounding this small town in the middle of this bayou.
All right. The first reptile I see, I'm gonna say, point me in the direction of your best banjo player.
And you see this this lizard folk with is just chewing on a piece of like possum. Oh, you're talking about Onslow then? He's off on that way down there. And he points off towards the a hut, and you can see there are a bunch of young lizard folk that are clustered around this hut, and you can see that there is a person sitting there playing guitar and seeming to tell a story at the same time. Would you like to describe your character there, Blake?
Certainly. So Onslow is a lizard folk. He has kind of this like gator head, essentially. So very reminiscent of like an alligator type kind of reptile. He wears simple cloth clothing, this wide brim straw hat, and you can see him plucking on a banjo as he's just kind of like rocking back and forth in a chair, not really doing too much.
All right, so the Dragonborn meets the eyes of Onslow. How do you guys react?
Well, I'll be the swamp monster's uncle if it ain't Slash.
Been a while. How you doing?
Oh, you know, just going wherever the wind takes me. Been looking well.
Thanks. Past my prime, but I try to keep in shape for the ladies.
Ain't we all?
Now, that wind happens to be blowing to the flick of fate. Are you coming with?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I like it around here.
Yeah, well, we got a chance to really rock again. Isn't that what we've always wanted?
Yeah. Tell you what. Let's see if you got any better. Looks like you got yourself a fancy instrument there. Give us a little ditty.
Oh, yeah. All right. Slash is going to put on a performance here.
All right, yeah, roll a performance check.
Crit fail.
Oh, nice.
Baby. Oh, yeah.
Your first time performing with Kiss in front of other people at this point. You played a couple little bit of tunes along the road, but this one rings out clear and true, and starts to attract a little bit of the locals around, and they start to some people are starting to actually come in. There's a little bit of recognition for some of them. They seem to realize Onslow did travel around with some people, and I think some people are starting to realize there could be a chance that the band's getting back together.
Well, shit.
Sorry,
I
it's
guess
a little
I'm
rusty,
in.
but perfect. And we do like the the man high five handshake from
Yeah.
like Full Metal Alchemist.
Hell yes.
Right. Now, you know that Davensport is actually the probably the last place you're going to want to look. But you do know that is generally actually where your band was kind of based out of to begin with. So there would be a good chance that there might be some people kicking around there. However, Onslow, you have heard word of some people traveling through the swamp that in the Orcish city to the south, you have gotten word that there is a half-orc drummer that is just raising hell in that Orcish city, winning money and taking names, and it seems to be a pretty good hint of where Doug would be.
All right. I hear
It's dangerous
some.
on the road. We're gonna need some muscle. I think the next person we go get is Doug. We need some percussion up in here.
Reckon that's a smart course of action. I hear he's tearing up a new band down here in the south.
All right, well, let's hit the road.
Sounds
All right.
good.
So as you guys end up leaving this bayou here, making your way out from the swamp, you start making your way to Bora's home. This city is actually one of the last standing bastions of the Prince of Darkness. It is one of the few places where the architecture from that time period, which is just heavy metal towers and spikes and chains, and it's where an Orcish horde has essentially holed up there for the past couple centuries, actually, and it's kind of the orc stronghold in this area of Gamaria. The interesting thing about that, though, is whereas most people, non-orcs, are not allowed into the city, back in the day, the Cacophony, which is actually the name of this band that is starting to get rolling again, the Cacophony actually had won the hearts of many of these hard-rocking orcs, and they have essentially earned citizenship into the city themselves. So you know that you'd be able to enter that city without any recourse that most other people might have trouble with. After about 4 days of traveling, you end up seeing the smoke rising up from the foundries within the city. There are heavily armored orcs patrolling the roads, but most of them actually do recognize you. Some of them give you the devil horns as you walk by, and they start to occasionally they ask if you're playing a concert there again. They haven't seen you guys in probably over a decade, but you let them know that there's more important things to be done at this point, and they look disappointed but understanding. You make your way into the city. It just smells of like cooked meats and smoke, and you just hear rabble rousing going all throughout. It's a bit of a party here all the time, and you find yourself drawn to an inn where there was especially loud cheers and screams, as it sounds like there was a bit of a scrap. And somewhere in between, you do hear the occasional noise of a thump, 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 thump of a set of drums.
Reckon that's where we should start looking.
As good a place as any.
So you guys make your way into the inn, and you can see there is a circle of orcs who are trying to watch this
this gladiator-style battle going on with there's a half orc with two warhammers and a drum kind of like dangling down by the side, and he's hitting the drum occasionally with the warhammers and basically dancing circles around this other orc that's looking pretty beat up. Eventually, the half orc knocks the full-blooded orc straight out, and then more orcs just groan in frustration as more of their money has been siphoned off, and they just keep losing to this bet about this small half orc not being able to handle itself. So Jordan, if you can describe your character.
Okay. Doug is remembered as 5'5", being very well cut, about 195. And now he's unrecognizable as he has gained over 75 pounds in the last 4 years.
Yes.
His white hair, very short, keeps it nice and clean cut, and green skin.
Okay. So Doug, you see your bandmates are sitting there watching you.
I look over to Onslow and I'm like, is that Doug?
Is that you guys?
Hey, Doug.
Really?
Is that you?
Onslow? Slash? Barely recognize you guys.
I could say the same. Looks like you put on a few.
I don't know. I feel exactly the same. I'm in the best shape of my life. Just made me to this piece of shit over here. I'm gonna spit on the ground and look at the rest of the crowd, and I'll challenge any one of you. Let's go. Who's next? All you ugly motherfuckers.
Well, that's definitely Doug. Same skull cracker he's always been.
Well, what brings you guys to this part of town? Didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Well, don't know if you heard, but my mentor passed. He gave me the axe and a dying request. We got to get the band back together.
Any money involved in this? I'm making quite the living doing this right now.
Well, to be honest, there's some danger involved, but if what I've heard of those old dungeons is true, there's going to be some wealth too.
Danger. Been a while since I had a bit of fun. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna spit on the ground one more time. I'll be back. Get ready. No.
Yeah.
Walk out the door.
And it's just like a hushed crowd. The orcs are just flabbergasted. All right, so you guys start making it back towards your hometown. It takes you about 3 days to get there of travel. And you make your way towards Davenport. As you guys are beginning to enter the scene in Davenport, that would be. I forgot to switch your song there, Jordan.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys make your way back towards Davenport. There's going to be as you're going in, there is something new there that those of you who haven't gone and visited Davenport in the last couple of years. On the way into town, there's where there used to just be like a kind of a small shack. You actually see that there is a huge, like mile-wide long meadow, and it is just gorgeous. There are little flowers that kind of poke up in certain areas. Some areas where you've got nice, clean-kept, tall grass. You can see there are small animals that are roaming around in this meadow, and a long, brown, curving path that leads its way towards where that old shack used to be.
and at the end of the path, you can see there is a house that seems to be mildly on fire a little bit. Has blackened wood, and it seems like in between the cracks of the fire or of the wood, there seems to be little embers of fire flickering. In some areas, you can see it. The fire is licking the sides of the walls. And the other thing that kind of catches your eye as well is that you can see a sign next to the path that says sorry, up here. Trying to remember everyone's names. Fire Strides Dojo. And it kind of catches you guys off guard.
Wait, wasn't
Fire Stride's been doing well for himself, it seems.
what? Yeah.
I mean, except to the larger house apparently being on fire.
Yeah, that's kind of peculiar.
Well, should we head in, see if everybody's all right? We might have to rescue some screaming damsels from a burning building.
Well,
What the
It's been a
hell?
while since I had a damsel. Might be worth it.
You go nuts in there, Tiger.
All right, so we're heading up
So
the path.
as you guys approach up the path, you do see there are a few people kind of standing outside of the building, and they seem relatively calm. They are leaning back and forth. They seem to be doing stretches, like just pulling on the arm. One of them is bending down, touching their toes. There's a female halfling and a male elf that are standing outside. They seem to be getting limbered up and paying no mind to the house, the
Not the
building.
brightest lot.
Isn't anybody worried about the building right beside you being on fire?
Oh, no, it's quite usually like that. You must not be from around here that often. No, this is just Master Firestride's dojo. It's just, he likes to have a little bit of flair.
Well, that does sound like the Damien I know. He always had
Yeah.
a thing for flair.
Well,
Well,
this has no substance.
well, if you'd like to go take a look, he's in there right now.
All right, let's see what kind of madness is going on in here.
All right, so you guys enter the abode, and Brighton, would you like to describe what your dojo looks like and maybe mention your character?
All right. So when you walk inside the dojo, everything that's typically white in like this standard Japanese style of buildings is actually black. All the trim is reddish, like flickering as if it is on fire, but nothing's actually on fire. It's just very over the top. And you see Damien standing there, and he's also wearing similar colored dark robes that are also flickering in the same style, and it's just exceedingly eccentric. There's no reason for somebody to run a fencing dojo that looks as nice as it does. But anybody that also remembers traveling with Damien will likely catch on to what this is and that it's all just an illusion.
All right.
Do his old tricks, I see.
It looks like he's improved, and I start feeling the wall.
The wall would feel warm, not to the point where it's burning your hand or anything like that, or doing damage, but it definitely feels warm to the touch.
He's got tactile feedback now.
It's like the years were well spent.
Yeah, lots changed in the past few years. What brings
We
you
can
guys
see
here?
that. We're getting the band back together.
The band.
That's right.
Yep.
Do you need a
Are you in?
manager?
Well, I think to get the rest of the band, we're gonna need your silver tongue.
All right, let me think about it. And I walk outside to my few students that were training.
As he walks out, I'll go, "Don't hurt yourself."
It's not real fire. I whispered to him when he
I
said
meant with
that.
the thinking part.
All right, I asked my pupils, I guess, if they would be okay with taking a break in their practice.
Oh, well, of course we could take a break if you needed. Would you be able to leave the dojo open and we can keep training without you?
The dojo can stay open, but then I snap my fingers and the magic fades.
And their eyes just like go, oh, they're really disappointed to see this. It's basically still that same old shack.
You can,
and
you could tell it's a dojo, but it's definitely not extravagant. But my
Yeah.
clothes stay as extravagant as they were.
They go, well, yeah, it's still functional, I guess. I didn't know that it was that kind of magic. I guess that makes sense. Thank you, Master. And they go in and bring out their rapiers and get ready to start fencing.
Don't hurt yourself, kids. And then I go back to the group and say, all right, I'm in, let's go. I've needed a break from this training for a long time, and this is a good opportunity.
Good to
So,
hear.
as you guys... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Have you been in touch with any of the old band?
I haven't
You...
heard...
Sorry. You wouldn't have... You would have occasionally talked with... Sorry, remembering everyone's names. Oren, Pompiron. You would have occasionally talked to him, but that's all you really... the only person you've kept in contact with.
The only person I've talked to recently from the band is Oren, and I believe he works down on the docks.
I wouldn't have expected him to be anywhere else.
Yeah, that's his MO.
All right.
All right.
Let's go
So
find
you
them.
guys start making your way down through the city. It's you're pretty much standard fare port city. Just smell seawater, and there's a lot of trade that goes on. The odd exotic creature gets traded through there. You make your way down to the docks, and you see there's this group of 4 guys who are kind of lifting up these big crates of fish, and kind of near close to those, you see a very, very large, muscle-bound Goliath that is just picking up crates of fish and then setting them into different kind of locations, kind of willy-nilly.
If isn't the best goddamn roadie I've ever seen.
Guess I'll pick up a crate of fish and
Do I
walk
hear
over
this?
to him.
I hope so. I said it to you.
Alright, got it.
He was always a bit slow.
He's holding a big crate, turns around and looks who's calling him. My friends, it's been so long. Drops the crate and it sort of splinters the wood on the docks because it was so heavy. And he's wearing the same black leather pants and leather vest with no shirt on. His whole muscular frame is still massive, but has lost a lot of definition over the years. And he's definitely got a dad gut going on.
Oh yeah. Don't we all?
He's got a blackened gray stubble, but his hair is curiously long and jet black still.
Ho ho, you got bigger than I did, Oren.
Oh, I've Here I've been addicted to the pound cakes at the local bakery.
Ah, yes. They're a culprit to us all.
Wrap you guys in a big group hug.
I always was a hugger, fucking.
So,
Trying to struggle out of it, but there's no escaping his grip.
wait. Deer Moon didn't send you here to get more money, did he?
No. Didn't even know he was around town.
Yes, I see him from time to time.
I'm here to get the band back together.
The band. Well, just happens I'm unemployed at the moment.
Don't you work here?
No. I just like to lift crates.
And one of the workers goes by. One of the workers walks by and goes, "As much as we ask to pay him, he still refuses."
I slap him on the back and laugh.
They just shake their head, frustrated at you.
He almost goes flying off the docks.
So, you're looking for Deer Moon?
I guess now we are.
He is not the same since you last saw him. It's a pretty sad sight. Just remember, he is still our friend. Come, I will show you.
Friend's a strong word, but alright.
All right, so you guys follow Orin and his massive muscles down a couple streets into a residential area. You find your way to what appears to be almost like a boarding house for you like do you guys remember the like apartments on The Simpsons?
Not really.
But yeah, it's basically like a boarding house for single men, and you start making your way through the different rooms of the boarding house, and you get to a room that is just closed and locked, and it's where sorry, forgetting the name again here. Diermid is supposed to be staying.
Alright, I pull up to the door, and there's a piece of paper on the front that says eviction on it, and I pull it off. I knock loudly on the door. Deer Moon, it's Odon Paparon.
Alright, I sit up from my bed. I think for a second. Don't really feel like talking to anyone right now. So, I cast silence, and I go back to sleep.
That resets from there.
I cast it
So,
around
yeah,
myself. I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Like this every time. And I try to push the door open forcefully.
Yeah, it just gives. If you're gonna push it open, you just knock it off. Its locks, just no effort at all. It's like doors open for you.
Set it to the side and walk over to his room.
Yeah, and
When we walk
as
by
you
the
guys,
door, I try the knob and it wasn't even locked.
the room is an absolute mess. There are clothes everywhere. There is food that has been just left to rot on different areas. There's actually a rat that is chewing on one of the pieces of food there, and it does not give a shit that you walk by. Like, unless you were to, like, stomp at it, it just stands there. Yeah, you do. No problem.
What?
You can see on some of the shelves there seems to be various illicit drugs that are just laid out. Those, and you guys recognize some of it. Like there is
a drug called Sood. You can see that there was some blue Sood that was on the table there. Barely anything left of it for like an actual hit of it. It's mostly been used, but it's kind of you can tell that it's been there, right?
What must I have mercy?
Right. And they're on the bed. You see, I always pronounce that one wrong. Deermood.
He asked me for money many times, but most seemingly for these, as I point to the drugs. And I go up to him and start shaking him.
I open my eyes and I look right at Orin, and I drop concentration on my sides. And after I do that, I say to him, "Oh, Orin, why are you here? I thought you were the people coming to kick me out, so I didn't want to deal with the pain right now."
No, it is much better. Look, your friends are here.
Moving up in the world, Diarmond.
I don't even remember half of you. Who are you?
Weren't much
me,
one of the bright
Slash.
stars in the sky.
Slash? I hardly recognize you. You've gotten... Well, I just won't say it. It'd be too hard.
I get it. We've all been getting older.
Diarmid is an elf. He is pretty good looking. He was pretty muscular back in the day. He's still pretty lean because all the drugs that he does and all the times he doesn't eat food or he'll sleep for 3 days at a time. He has not washed his pants and he can't remember when, and as well as he has not worn a shirt in a very long time, and his hair is very greasy.
Your
Nice.
shower stopped working, I see. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I didn't hear what you said there that one time.
I said, your shower has stopped working, I see.
Can't afford water.
Ah. Rough
I
time.
shake my head sadly.
Anyways, what are y'all doing here? I'm embarrassed that you see me like this.
I got a chance for us to rock again. I'm getting the
Rock.
band back together.
Rock again. I haven't sang since she left me. I don't think I have it in me anymore.
None of us do. That's why we're gonna get the flick of fate.
What? The flick of fate? What is that?
It's a powerful artifact that will bestow the power to rock upon whoever has it.
Well, if anything, it'll help me forget. But I promise you, I'm not what I used to be. And I'm gonna try and sing out a note.
Okay.
All right then. And I clear my voice and I cough and I try and sing something. I'm not actually gonna try and sing right now, but
All right. Roll a performance check.
it's already in there.
Oh. It's not bad for how bad of a state he seems to be in. Some things cannot be lost when they are part of you. Yeah, you're still a real good singer.
Sound just fine to me, friend.
You still got it. You just need a little boost. And not that kind of boost I point towards as heroin and whatever he has over there.
All right.
Doug
well, let me
was on the
gather
table scraping it up, getting it ready for him. That's
One
what he thought he
last
meant
hit.
for boost.
one last hit before we leave, then, and we must go down to the dock so I can wash my hair.
I just prestidigitate his hair clean.
Look at that. Someone actually had an idea for once.
All right. Well, still need to go wash my pants.
I'm not touching those even with magic.
Okay. Well, after collecting up your compatriots, you actually spend a little bit of time back in the city, and you make your way back to the old clubhouse. As you guys are entering the old clubhouse, you can see it's just covered with just a big layer of dust. Everything in there is has not been touched in over 4 years. The magic jukebox that you guys have that actually has your greatest hits is sitting disrepaired, and its glow seems to be missing, almost like someone had broken in and taken some major components of it, and it seems to be non-functional right now. The shelves are bare, but there is one cask of malt beer left still, and you're not sure if it's any good or not, but that's basically all that was left there.
I run over to the beer and have a drink.
It's not good. It is a little bit rancid.
I cast Mending on the jukebox.
It does not seem to work because the only way that you'd be able to fix the jukebox if you were to find the pieces that went missing.
Okay.
Someone must have broken into the clubhouse at some point and stolen the important parts.
I go over to the spot that I had that was just Damien's spot. I smash a hole in the floorboard and pull out a little box, unlock it, pull out a really shiny black and red trimmed rapier.
Ooh.
I'm gonna sleight of hand, do some more drugs.
Yeah, no one notices.
Yes.
You are you need to do a Constitution saving throw now, though.
Oh.
Rip.
Ooh.
You guys look over, and sitting on the table there, is slouched over, passed out, is Derbyud. I'm sorry, but not Dearmood. Sorry.
Made it the whole 3 blocks. I guess that's a record for him.
Well, we're gonna have to keep an eye on him from now on.
I'm gonna go up to him, turn him up, pick him up, and turn him upside down and shake him to see if any drugs come out.
I would say that would be.
Teespring them.
Pardon?
Nothing. I was gonna say.
Teespring
them.
He was running low at the time when you guys found him, so that would have been close to the last of the stash. He'd either have to go get more, or you'd have to get more for him.
Okay.
I pull the rapier out of the box, and then reach back down to the hole, pull out basically like a band of just way too many daggers, and like strap them to the inside of my overly extravagant coat. And then I give the rapier a little test flick, and we're good to go. So
Right.
Slash, where are we? What's the mission? What's the job?
And I explained to them exactly what the my mentor had told me on his deathbed about the old empire and the flick of fate, and that is the resting place of the flick is in the dungeon, and that it's going to be very dangerous.
All right. So as you guys are planning, you would have enough time to get any equipment you needed in town. You guys did do pretty well for yourselves. You would be able to buy any of the mundane equipment that you would have got ready before this session here. Take a couple days in the clubhouse, kind of getting ready before you went on your trip
out eastward towards this tomb. Is there anything you guys would have wanted to do before heading out that way?
I definitely need
than-
to go see my dealer.
Yeah, you get your dealer, and I would say you get you would be able to get 3 hits of Sood. So Sood, I'm going to type it out here, and I'm 100% stealing this from Critical Role, but it is a cool drug.
Please don't sue.
No drugs are cool. Pardon?
Matt Mercer, please.
Yeah,
Please don't sue Matt Mercer. We love you.
I think it's actually in the new guide actually.
Oh yeah, it might be.
And I believe so you'll have
Spice.
you'll have that your pick of blue Sood, brown Sood, or red Sood, and any amount of heroin that you want.
Okay, so how much does the suit cost? I'm gonna spend all 15 of my gold.
Yeah. I would say even with that, you would have to borrow from your friends or steal from your friends in order to afford the Sood. The heroin you'd be able to cover easy, but Sood is a magic drug, so it's much more costly than that. It would probably be, for the 3 hits, it would be probably about 70 gold pieces.
Well, I might have to try and acquire the suit in an illegal way.
Roll. How would you do it illegally?
Do I just go see like some sketchy dealer or what?
Yeah, you know plenty of dealers. Like, you got a guy, and doesn't like you that much because sometimes you're a little bit
I'm gonna go intimidate him.
cheap out. But
Words of terror.
okay. Alright. Yeah, okay, roll intimidation with advantage.
15.
It would be enough for him to give you 1 thing of Sood, but the other 2 you'd have to pay for. Sir, I'm skipping through some of the roleplay aspects so we can get to the dungeon. But,
Okay, yeah.
Oh good.
Yeah.
I'll just
like,
okay, I'll just take the 1 hit of suit and then all the heroin I can handle.
okay, so I would just say you've got indeterminate amount of heroin. And
have 1 crack
1
pipe.
hit of Sood. Of your choice, whether you want blue Sood, red Sood, or brown Sood.
Let's go red.
Okay, so that gives you the meta. I posted in the chat there. Basically, if it works for you, you get a shot at using meta magic and doing a distance spell. You get 1 sorcery point, and you can do distance spell.
Okay, good enough. Good to go.
Okay. All right. Anything else, guys?
Throughout this time, I just kind of like wander around the streets playing music as I just go where I want, but then figure out, we were supposed to be leaving soon, and then head back.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have just been
I-
wandering around gambling, like arm wrestling and wrestling people for cash.
I
Okay.
would have spent the time cleaning up our base and repairing anything that needed to be, that could be, and making sure that our emergency teleportation circle that we previously set up is still clean and working.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
no
have
one
been
is-
helping with that.
Yeah, and you guys do clean it up a little bit. The place looks a lot better. You get the chairs are kind of fixed up. Teleportation circle works perfectly fine. And you guys would be able to transport yourself to that whenever you have the ability to. Yeah, the place is looking nicer. Feels bad that the jukebox is broken because you'd like to hear some of your old music, but you know what you gonna do.
Can I check that out to see what it would take to repair it? Like, see what's actually missing from it?
roll an investigation check.
Slash isn't the brightest. Oh, but
Yeah, no, that's good enough. It's you guys are fairly familiar with the jukebox. There is a audio core that is used in these types of magic jukeboxes, and they can be found or bought in a lot of different locations. They're often found in locations of magical musicians as well. They're kind of a favorite thing they use for various tricks for shows that they play or stuff like that. So.
all right. Now, in town here, would any of those be readily available? So in this time before we head out, could we get the jukebox fixed?
Yeah, I would say you would be able. It'd be pretty costly. They're about. It's a tough enchantment to do, so it'd be about 1,000 gold pieces to get it fixed. So.
Well, I don't know about you, Damien, but I don't have that on me anymore. It's been a long time since we played a show.
I have some money from the fencing business, but as you can see by the state of the shack, it's not really that extravagant. A lot of my money's long gone.
Well, I guess we gotta hope to make it big after we find the flick. We can get this place back to its old glory.
We could steal it. Nah, you're right. You're right. We can get it after. We can get it after.
Someone say steal?
No. Go back to your drugs.
Don't you get yourself thrown in jail again. Lord
I
knows
look over at Onslow and say, "What even are you?"
You never were the brightest. Shake my head.
I actually don't
Now, guys, we just got the band back together. Let's not squabble already.
Oh, I forgot to
Sure
point
thing.
it out when I was introducing my character, but Damien is extremely gangly. He's 6'3" and does not weigh very much, but pretty much looks the same as he did.
Where is the dungeon we're going? Is it far away?
It is. I think it is about 2 days' journey east of Davenport. So it's actually, coincidentally, really close to where you guys are.
Ah.
Convenient.
How convenient, yeah.
Everyone is ready.
Yeah,
I
what
am.
the hell?
All right, so you guys make your trek out. And while it does take 2 days for you guys to get to the general area where you're supposed to be, it would take another 2 or 3 days to actually find this hill that was described to you. And eventually you do come across a spot that you think could fit to be the hill that Charles had actually mentioned to Slash. So you arrive at a hill. It's a low, flat-topped hill. It's only about 200 yards wide, 300 yards long, and 60 feet high. Only ugly weeds, thorns, and briars grow upon the steep sides and bald top. There are black rocks upon the top of the hill, and they are kind of just barely in view for you to look at. Okay? And this seems to be a likely location of the hill that they discussed.